The opinions of our panelists do not necessarily reflect those of Bang Zoom Entertainment or Revision3.com. This episode of Anime TV is brought to you by Netflix and GoDaddy.com. Welcome to Anime TV, where we talk about anime, manga, video games, and Asian pop culture.
Today we're going to talk about Basilisk, which is released by Funimation Entertainment.
Anime TV, go!
Anime TV, go!
Hima means free time in Japanese. And what have you been doing with your free time?
Playing my DS.
Your DS.
Ninja Town.
I never heard of Ninja Town.
You should buy it.
It sounds like a made-up name.
It's like $10.
$10?
It's totally fun game.
What kind of game is it? About ninjas?
Like little cute ninjas, and you like build like ninja houses, and you get different kinds of ninjas.
So it's like one of like those roller coaster typhoon.
No.
The Sims with ninjas?
No, it's like you build like warrior ninjas, and then like monsters come and you kill them.
That sounds pretty sim-like to me.
Whatever.
Anyways, here are our panelists talking about what they do in their free time.
Hima time!
Hima!
So, we're gonna start right off the bat. Go ahead, Laura. What have you been watching? What have you been up to?
I'm gonna talk about an anime I've been wanting to talk about since season 1. And it's one of my guiltiest pleasures, again, maybe even guiltier than Inuyasha. Kyokara Mao!
I don't even know what that is. Usually if it has a Japanese title, I just can't watch it.
It's in English it's the same title, but it's an anime that it's just so addictive, even though sometimes it's so stupid and so slow.
What's it about?
I just love it. It's about this Japanese boy named Yuri. In modern day Japan, he gets flushed down a toilet by these bullies.
Oh, I have heard of this.
Yeah. He gets flushed down a toilet by these bullies. It's magical, into the demon kingdom, where he is crowned the king of the demons, but they're all humans. But they look like humans, but they have powers, and then there are humans there too.
It's like also like a Disney movie, like Under Flushed or something like that was similar to this, where they flushed some creature down in a toilet.
No, shut up.
Civilization, like that.
Go ahead, go.
And it's not always. It just is a toilet the first time. He just needs to go through water to get there.
That's the portal.
He later does it in his bathtub. He later does it in a fountain. It changes.
I have a question. Could you spit and like put him through your spit? Would that count?
No.
All right.
I don't think it's enough water.
No.
All right.
That's a stupid idea.
And you're enjoying it? And how far are you?
I've always enjoyed it. They had 76 episodes for season 1,
That's
and
a
then
long
they
haul.
had an OVA, and then they made season 3, and I don't remember how many episodes are in, and I hope it's still going because they weren't going to make more, but it was so popular.
Right.
And
obviously, because we've all heard of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Go
is.
ahead. No, I have heard of it. Go ahead.
It's and there's a lot of great couples. When he gets into the Demon Kingdom, there are a lot of cute guys, really hot men too. But there's the Wolfram Prince guy, and they get engaged because it's really common. And then Wolfram falls in love with him, and it's a little yaoi. I love it.
Awesome. All right. I want to introduce our new friend. This is Jen.
I wasn't done.
What up, Jen?
I'm just moving his along. And Jen, welcome. And,
Thank you.
You're making yourself cozy on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
What have you been up to? What are you watching? What are you reading? Talk to us.
Watching, reading, no, not so much. Playing video game. I'm actually catching up a bit on my backlog with a little game called Dissidia Final Fantasy. Practically what it is the biggest crossover fanfiction you will ever see, published by a major game company.
And it's made for PSP?
Yes, PSP. What it practically does is it takes the main character from every Final Fantasy, 1 through 10, and puts them against the main bad guy from every Final Fantasy, 1 through 10, and puts them all together in some kind of fighting thing that tries to be an RPG.
Is it turn-based, like Final Fantasy Tactics?
Hybrid of both.
Okay.
It's like you can make it command-based where you put in, you're like, okay, I want to choose attack. Or you can be like, I'm going to run at you and kick the crap out of you.
Okay, cool.
So you can do either one. I don't know what the plot is.
Just like a gangbang of fighting and Final Fantasy, and you're kind of like, Final Fantasy, yeah.
It's supposed to be like the forces of good versus the forces of evil. And
I like Cypher. He's hot. Is he in it?
No.
Is Kate Sith in it?
No.
What?
He's not.
You said it was all the characters.
all the main characters.
Cypher
Red
is the
13,
main
Red
character.
13, the lion.
No,
No?
you just have the emo Cloud and Sephiroth, who's got no point.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Guys,
Jonathan?
All right, look, there's one that I've been wanting to bring up for a while, and I can't believe I forgot to bring it up because it became one of my top 5 animes of all time. And it's American made. And it's an anime. It's an anime. It's American made. Although I believe
possible.
no, the animators were Korean though, I believe. But like,
Then it doesn't
but
count.
it was made by Americans. It's an American story.
It's in the style of anime.
Are you ready for this?
Go ahead,
it's in the style of it. And to me, it is it's an anime. They did it right.
Well, what is it?
No. It's Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay.
Dude, amazing!
Are you currently
I love this
watching
show.
that? You're
I've seen it
currently
3
watching
times,
that?
man. I bought the DVDs, I bought the box sets.
They're
I love
making
it.
the movie.
I know, with M. Night Shyamalan, not Avatar James Cameron. Not Avatar James Cameron.
No.
Avatar The Last Airbender. It's a movie coming out by M. Night Shyamalan. It's about 4, you guys know it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to address you now, okay? Viewer, here we go. If you haven't seen it,
Give
see
me
it.
a
It's about...
close-up.
It's about 4 different countries. You got fire, earth, air, water, basic elements. And you have the Avatar who can control all the elements and sort of keeps everyone in check. And the Avatar's been gone for 100 years, been stuck in ice, and so the Fire Nation decides it's time to roll, and they start whooping everyone's ass. And now the Avatar's back, he's got to learn the elements and put, balance back to the world. So it's endearing, it's funny, it's cool, like it's got a lot of great things to it, and I can't believe it was on Nickelodeon, for crying out loud. It was actually really, really good.
But it's good to get so that when the movie comes out, you can see how far they've strayed from the real deal. It's like reading your favorite book, like Harry Potter, and then finding out they burned down the Weasley. Oh, spoiler! They burned down someone's house, the Weasley's house, and you're like, that never happened.
Or the Dragon Ball movie.
Anyway, yeah.
That wasn't even that. Dragon Ball
no,
wasn't even like
no.
If anyone
Close.
sees that, like kill
Burn
yourself. Like seriously.
But that's good though, because it's a good story, and if they stay somewhat true to the actual anime, then the movie will be successful. So we'll wait and see. I personally have missed years of anime when I was in college because I was broke as a joke, as you might be as well. And something that I missed was called Boogie Pop Phantom. Have you guys ever seen that? Okay,
I have it on DVD.
Okay, let me just
Love
tell
it.
you. Tweet me if you can tell me in a sentence or two what the hell it's about.
I can do it.
Yeah, it's like I felt like it was some sort of weird Andy Warhol art film where it was like some sort of statement on society, and I just didn't get it. Some lady painted as a zebra, washing, mashing maraschino cherries with her feet, and everyone's like, "Oh yes, of course." People are dying left and right. It's very scary.
At the
believe
end,
me.
did it just say Finn?
Yeah, it's almost like that.
F-I-N,
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I didn't get it, but it creeped my shit out.
I love Boogie Pop Phantom. It's one of my favorites. And it's by the same people who later did Serial Experiments Lane. So it's got that kind of weird vibe.
The energy.
And they tell it, they do a Pulp Fiction kind of thing where they take the line of the story and they go, and it's really cool.
Basically, does it sound like number 9?
It's way more sophisticated than you would expect.
Yeah,
It's way
but
more-
there's a lot of death. It's I think it's scarier than watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, in the middle of the day, which kind of scared me too. Yeah, I thought that was scary. Anyway, the point of the story was, it's scary. If you like horror genre, definitely check it out. Grab your blanket and your pillow and be like, "Aya."
It's
Anyway.
really good.
Yeah, so I think that's a good wrap for what we're doing and up to, and we'll toss it back to the studio. Blah, blah, blah.
Thanks to Netflix for sponsoring this episode of Anime TV. With Netflix, you can rent over 90,000 titles online, including lots of Blu-ray titles, with free shipping both ways to your home. They now have over 40 shipping centers, so almost all deliveries happen in just 1 business day. The Netflix plans start from $4.99. As a new member, you can get a no-risk 2-week free trial membership. Check it out at www.netflix.com/anime.
Alrighty guys, welcome back to Domo Arigato Miss Yamamoto round 2. So let's get started. Irashai! You've probably heard that a lot in a lot of animes, or even J-dramas. Every time the main character decides to go to a ramen shop, a restaurant, a sushi bar, wherever, you're gonna hear that word. It's usually a big guy in the back doing this action with a frying pan, with a cigarette in the corner of his mouth, and goes, Irashai! What they're basically saying is, welcome to our store. So I think it's kind of cool, there's a restaurant here in Los Angeles that does that, so It was a flashback for me when I walked in, and it was like the first person that saw me was like, "Irashai!" And the moment you hear that in any kind of izakaya or restaurant, you are required to say "Irashai" for no reason. You don't even know who walked in. But if you hear it being said, you say it. So you hear it about 10 times all throughout this huge store. It's pretty cool. If you're in a restaurant or any kind of setting, this word works wonders. It's called sumimasen. You might have heard it in many animes also, sumimasen. Basically, it could mean sorry if you run into somebody on the street and you go, "Oh, sumimasen." Perfect. Or if you're in a restaurant and you want to get the attention of either the waiter, the head cook, anybody, you basically look up and you go, "Sumimasen." And then the person will go, you know, "Be with you in a moment." So it's a great word to use because basically you're apologizing for getting their attention. Weird cultural thing, I know. The best way to diffuse any situation in Japan, by the way, is to say sorry. Even though you're not sorry. Don't ask. But sumimasen is a great word to use. All right, so that's all the time we have for our Domo Arigato, Miss Yamamoto. My name's Miley. If you have any questions whatsoever, make sure you contact me through the forums over at revision3.com/AnimeTV, and I'll be sure to get to your questions. Until next time, Johnny!
Web hosting from GoDaddy.com includes 99.9% uptime, 24/7 support, and free access to Hosting Connection, the place to install over 30 free applications sure to help you get the most from your hosting plan and website. AnimeTV fans type ATV14 at GoDaddy.com to get a .biz domain name for $7.49. One lucky Revision 3 viewer will win $25,000. The contest ends February 12th. Go to my.biz now to enter.
Basilisk is an anime that was based on the 1958 novel Koga Ninpocho, the Koga Ninja Scrolls. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet, but there's a lot of blood and some very bushy eyebrows. Funimation released the entire series dubbed and subbed. Here's a clip.
Funimation.
The Koga and the Iga. We are all the same in birth and in death, all of us human. We need to break these bindings of hatred and revenge which hold us. We need to open our eyes to the other side, to the Iga, even if it is only one of them. Then that one we will try to know and better understand.
It is not possible. The time to know the other side has passed.
Today we are reviewing Basilisk. I did question why we were reviewing this, because it's older, but it's...
Not as old as Monster.
We're going to get to it because you're wondering why are we reviewing this, but it did come out on Blu-ray. Jonathan, what'd you think of Basilisk?
Dude, I'm not a classic yet, but I mean, still, it's going to be. I mean, it's a great anime. Basilisk is awesome. For everyone who out there doesn't know what Basilisk is about, it's you basically you need to create a new shogun, and you've got two different feuding clans, and you take their 10 best ninja, you put them against each other, and the winning clan, you know, their person who they're representing becomes a shogun. That's the basic story. But then you mix like a Romeo and Juliet type of thing with it. Very cool. Star-crossed lovers take their life. No spoiler. But the show is amazing. It's really freaking great. Lots of cool ninja stuff that really I watch it and I'm like, oh yeah, Naruto's using that and like this anime's using that. Like,
what was your favorite attack? What was your favorite ninja power? Because I thought they were kind of convoluted. They weren't real ninja powers that I would actually want, but they were cool because they were off the wall a little bit.
You know what? There's a girl named Okai, and her ninja power was she basically raped you. Right? This chick, right? Well, kind of like, this guy was like, you know, he's like, oh, baby, I'm gonna go down on your stuff. And she was like, yeah, come get it, daddy, come get it. And then she just grabs him, and her blood, she basically like grabs you and sucks life out of you.
She's like a leech. Like
yeah, she's a leech, exactly. Like that, yeah. So she sucks you up, and then she barfs you out.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Like I said, it's not, the powers, not the ninja powers you're expecting, but it's definitely
like to get with this
unique.
Woman.
What do you think of the character design? What do you think?
You know, I mean, it's an older, I feel like in terms of the animation, you know, it's what, 10 years old, so I'm like, okay, whatever, that's cool. It didn't bother me too much. Some of them look a little weird, you know, the freaker, you know, with the big head, and you got some odd-looking characters, but, you know, Ninja World, fun stuff, yeah. I'm okay with
Suspension of disbelief a little bit.
Yeah, you got to suspend it a bit, but the story's fun, the fighting's cool, the powers are fun. I always love people with powers. If it made Twilight interesting, it's going to do wonders for anime.
Moving along, Jenkins, what do you think?
All right, so when I heard I was going to be reviewing this one, I was like, oh, great, ninja anime, another one. All right, so going, blah, blah, fight scene, blah, blah, flash black, blah, black. Oh my God! Oh my God! The old man just killed the old woman!
Yeah, right? Right?
And that's not really a spoiler because it happens in the first episode.
Right. So the whole entire, I guess if I could sum up this entire series with a little phrase, it would be just not what you expect.
Okay.
I mean, it takes your expectations and goes.
It kind of says like, look over there, and then bitch slaps you. Okay,
Exactly,
and you're like,
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
hey, all right.
Exactly, it's the bitch slap.
So my question is did you? We were talking about how it happens in the first episode where there's some death. Now there's some continuity issues, like they revisit some flashback stuff.
Yeah.
They could have reordered the sequence of the story. Do you think? Because
a little bit.
In the beginning, they go. It's kind of like in medias res, where they start right in the middle of things,
Right.
and then there's some death right in the beginning. But there's another episode that revisits how they all ended up there.
Exactly.
Did you like it the way that it started? Kind of like it's right there, or did you wish that they had done it sequentially?
Yeah, I kind of like the way that they did it. Well, it kind of sets you up for something kind of standard run-of-the-mill ninja thing, and then it just kind of blindsides you. That got my attention and made me want to know more about the why. It's like, why the hell did this old man just kill this old lady and vice versa?
Right.
So, and they bookend it with their grandchildren at the beginning of the story and at the end of the story. I don't want to do
There's like
spoilers
that 30-second
here.
lead in.
Yeah, and they bookend it, and I like that. I mean, they really put it together.
Lura, talk to me. Did you like it?
I'm going to give you 2 things I like about it and 2 things I don't like about it.
Okay, tell it.
First thing I love about it is the first episode. I think the first episode is fantastic, incredible. It hooked me. I love what you're saying about this old man and this old woman who used to be in love. You find out, and then it's so much, all this love and tragedy and backstory in one episode, and then at the end when they kill each other and she falls on him. On his shoulder, and it morphs back to when they were young. That just broke my heart.
They're all dead.
And I was like, oh my God, what's the story behind it?
So you like that?
It
drew you in.
I love that. Another thing I love about it is I really love the animation style. I think it looked gorgeous. It had a little unique look to it. It has its own. Like, they have the bushy eyebrows. I like that. I love the animation style. I thought it looked gorgeous. I really liked it. 2 things I didn't like about it. The main character girl, after the granddaughter,
Obama.
was so...
Obama.
She was so useless and annoying, and just all she would do was talk about, oh, why do they have to fight? Can't we just have peace?
But she was a peacekeeper.
She didn't do anything to help the peace. She
look at people.
But that's
at the very end.
That's part of the journey, though. Is that you have your
a thing. She was just like in love with him, and she was just useless. She was just useless.
It's kind of, I know what you're saying, anticlimactic to have a clan leader that's like, I want peace and only peace. Like, no, fight.
No,
okay?
I didn't want her to. She wanted, but she could help she could have gone out there and done more for peace. She
like
just
campaign? Who's she, Gandhi? She's like, everyone, you must have peace.
She just kind of sat there and was cute and pined away.
That's a fair gripe, I guess. If
and
pulled you out of the story a little bit. I get you. Go ahead.
It was just annoying as heck.
Okay, second thing.
And then the second thing I didn't like about it, I like animes that have happy endings, and obviously everybody dies in this anime.
Why are you telling them that? They're not even the spoiler part.
Spoiler.
Okay, spoiler.
Take it back. Not everyone dies. That's not true.
We might even want to strike that because it's kind of a not surprise kind of an event there.
There's a lot of tragedy in this anime. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And I like animes that have happy stories or at least happier endings. And I know it's part of the theme. The theme
in Laura's world, everything's happy. I'm kidding. I'm with you. You like that kind of story. You like the button ending that's happy and everyone gets along, yeah? I personally suggest when I sat down to rewatch this, I got a pot of coffee on Folgers, and I got some pizza, and it's cool because they introduced everybody in the first episode, and I made a list on my Domino's pizza box. You can start off with the Koga clan, and then the Iga clan, and you basically, they'll say, I'm so-and-so, I'm Nick Manelik, and then it has ching, and their name comes up, and you can write their name right along here, and when they kick the bucket, you can put a slash to their name or whatever, but that way, because it is kind of confusing. Did you not feel that it was confusing?
Totally.
They're like, and it's, it's Simon, and then it's Tenson, and you're like, who the hell are all these people? So if you list it down, it's kind of like Capulets and Montagues, very Romeo and Juliet. I also have to say that one of my favorite things was the Cyclone Death Song. One of the special abilities is a whisper that you make between, I don't know, some weird kind of sign languagey fingers, and it just blows shit apart. And I thought, if I had all the powers, because some of them are kooky, like the leech lady, and I can turn into a slug if I touch salt. Weird powers, but they were used in unique ways and abilities. So it's definitely not your average ninja anime. It was kind of exciting as far as them mixing up the powers that you wouldn't necessarily want, but are kind of cool in the end. I also wanted to comment on the OEO'd. I know you guys made fun of me for Haruhi calling out hair lows, you know, the little ring around your head that you see. It's just it's an animation choice that they make. I think some of the characters in this for the design had hairstyles that rivaled Heihachi from Tekken. You know, this guy with his hair is like this. And so the OEO'd is basically the open-ended eyelash of doom, and they keep showing this eye. That's awesome. And it's like the open eye doesn't really fully close, which kind of bothers me because there's all this great intricate line detail, and then this is open, and like there's like flesh there, and then this is just white, and there's gigantic furry like kind of eyelash thing. It's ridiculous. And I know it's all about the basilisk stare and that kind of a thing.
They didn't have fake eyelashes back then.
But they were just huge and gigantic, and I didn't really like that style, and the eyebrows, they were like out of control. And
I'd like to real quick, can we get a close-up on that eye? I mean, commend Nick on
well, I did go to art school. This is what I was doing instead of watching anime. I also wanted to comment on one of my favorite lines of the whole show is Tensen, and I made these out of the pizza box too, but the hair, his hair was kind of like sticking out of his head like this. You'll know what I mean, right? And he's all trying to get intimate with Oboro, being like, I'm going to take the clan leader, and he says, seducing a woman is an ancient ninja technique. And I am very skilled. I mean, dude, this guy's a pair of balls on him the size of a donkey. So, I mean, it just makes me laugh because to look at some guy looking like this trying to get your business is not what I would call a good evening. But more than once. So overall, what did you think, Jonathan?
Overall, I think Basilisk is awesome. I think it's a great anime.
You can spoiler now if you want.
I think we already did earlier. Everyone dies.
We might cut that out.
To be honest, I really enjoy the way Nick did this, and I would say if you're going to watch the anime, have a list of all the characters so you could see them and cross them off as they get killed, because that's part of the journey. Yeah, it's fun. Very fun anime. It won't take up too much of your time. It's 26 episodes. Fun.
24.
Do it. 24. Do it.
Jen
says, get it. It's very good. I liked it. It's a pleasant surprise. And I actually kind of disagree with the whole pizza box thing. You don't have to list everybody's names. Because everybody is memorable. Even if you don't remember their names, like, oh, you remember the slug guy. Oh, you remember the chick with the fireflies. You can still remember everybody. But yeah.
She's a better memory than I do. Yeah. Oh, really? Married elephant. Go ahead.
I really liked it. I recommend it.
Lura, talk to me.
Definitely worth a watch. It's not something I watch every day for fun, but it is really well done. I like all the characters except for the main girl.
Do you like the old dude with a gigantic cranium?
Yeah.
It looked like he was gonna have a little mouth jump out of him, like an alien. He's like, you know what I'm talking about?
I think I'll take it back. I think some of the characters showed really good development, especially the guy who could change to look like other people.
Oh, that was really cool.
That was really nicely told. You could see his kind of conflict, and some of the other characters had that too. I really liked that. And looked beautiful. Definitely worth a watch.
Cool. Me personally, it's probably one of my favorites. Like I said, I've seen it before, and I have ADD, so for me to write this down is absolutely necessary. I remember watching the first time, being like, okay, everything's going on, and you know, all these people being introduced, and I get very flustered easily, as far as, especially if they're Japanese names. I'm kind of like, you know, Oboro, and I was like, who is this fool? And Tensen, whatever. So I just started naming them like Slug Guy and Firefly Chick, and for me, because it's like I'm your average, well, not average, but American dude that just can't read Japanese, so I just take their word for it. Not average at all. Actually, yeah, I am. Anyway, the point of the story is, get this one. It's really good. There's a little bit of something for everybody. There's a love story. There's naked men, there's naked women, there's heads a-flying, there's hands a-flying, meaning they're getting lopped off, blood and guts, definitely more story than there is romance, flashbacks, and not flashbacks, crazy crack flashbacks that you hate. It's all self-contained. And if I would say one bad poo-poo thing about it is skip episode, I think it's 10, it's called The Mandate. It's basically, let's watch all the last 10 fights that we've seen.
That. You know what, like 24-episode animes, like Samurai Champloo did it too. Like,
yeah, but I'm saying you can skip that one and be fine. The last thing I want to say is you could, after already seeing this show, know that everyone's dead and bet your friends who's going to die first.
Yeah.
And since they all freaking die, you can bet and win. So you've heard it here first, but don't gamble on your computers at work because, you know, you'll get in trouble and people got fired over that. Anyway, yeah. So I think that wraps it up, and we're going to take it back to studio. Johnny and Christina.
I loved it. It was a great show.
It's a pretty show. Yeah. And now I want some pizza.
I want some bushy eyebrows, and I want to buy it on Blu-ray.
Okay, cool. You should.
I think I should too.
And you should watch it over and over, like a true anime fan. And if you are a true anime fan, you should fan us on Facebook.
And follow us on Twitter at GoAnimeTV.
Next week, we shall review Guyver.
Yes!
So come back for that. I'm Johnny Young Bosch.
I'm Christina V.
AnimeTV, go! So what now? What you talking about? Jesus, good. But it makes you fart.
No, that's it. That's it.
I think so.
Particularly? I know everything makes you fart, but
I've been studying the martial farts. Hima, 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 hima.
No.
Bang Zoom.